Fratelloni's.
Did we
I
really
was trying
max
to
out
think
at
how you
64?
come up with the names for
That's the
96
biggest
colors.
I don't know.
Joe,
What?
let's do it.
Fratelloni's Hardware and Garden Stores brings you Garage Logic Podcast number 1443, December 11th, 2024. 56 degrees was the high on this day. That was in 1913. And in the early 70s, it was 14 below on this morning in 1972. And an additional note, I don't remember this, in 2010, how long ago is that?
14 years, brah.
Thank you.
16.3 inches of snow.
Oh, boy.
Hail the flashlight king.
On this day.
And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, John Height in the newsroom, and of course, the rookie. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner,
I see your
and
hand.
the keeper of common sense,
Trying to be
your
polite.
mayor, Joe Souchere.
I do remember that.
I don't.
16 is just, you know why?
I don't know why.
That's when the dome roof caved in.
Oh, really?
Yes, in 2010. I was supposed to go to that game with a couple of friends, and then they postponed it and then moved it to Detroit, right? Didn't they play the game in Detroit?
They didn't play a game in Detroit, and they played some games where the Gophers play.
Correct. Yeah,
That's
but
when
that's
Brett Favre got it.
that was his last game. Yeah, so that was the dome roof. Remember that video? I watched that
Yeah,
about
that's
once
pretty
a year.
good.
So it was December 10th, 2010. The dome roof collapsed. That was about the third or fourth time it did.
You're right, and I remember the employees weren't able to scrape the snow off because the wind was so bad. They didn't want to send anybody up there to clear the roof.
Now, obviously, it got repaired, and it continued to be played in. Mm-hmm. Right.
Up until 20, what was the last year?
What was the
13?
first year of U.S. Bank?
2016.
God, it seems like yesterday there was just a hole in the ground.
Yesterday,
I need to get a
so much snow,
man.
Did you celebrate when they blew the dome up? Because you didn't really like the dome.
Oh, I
He
don't
had
know,
that.
but-
He had the red box dynamite
Right.
thing. Yeah, he had the thing.
He was Wile E. Coyote.
Yes.
I didn't celebrate, but I was vindicated.
You were.
It was just the wrong building for this state. Say, Roy wants to know, hail the flashlight king.
Hail you!
Regarding the subject of garage wood and garage cardboard, you're missing another garage essential, the 5-gallon bucket.
Oh,
Well, that's true. I don't think I'm missing it. I think that's a given.
Which doubles as a carrier and a stool.
That's right.
yep.
And I have one. I mean, everyone does. You have to have a 5-gallon
got
bucket in the
about
garage.
20.
Yeah. So, Roy, I don't think I don't think we're missing it. It just hasn't achieved the elevated and mythical status of a piece of garage wood.
It's on par with a toolbox.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
just
got to
there.
be there.
You got to have it. I mean,
Yeah.
tomorrow, and I'm grateful that she accepted the invitation. We're having Lee Finke in. She's a transgendered legislator in Minnesota, and she's now making news today. She's been making news lately because she finds anyone, well, maybe not anyone. Yeah, I'll say that, including me. She'll find. She finds anyone who opposes transgender females from participating in female sports. She finds them to be despicable. And
Quite a harsh word.
tennis legend Martina Navratilova called out Finke this week, saying the transgender legislator's male entitlement is off the charts. And the comments came in response to Finke's appearance on the PBS NewsHour, where now this story says where he said, isn't it a she? Where she said there was no reason to be talking about males using women's bathrooms or participating in women's sports. That's not a problem, Finke said. Well, we'll get into it tomorrow, I would imagine. She's making quite a name for herself, and she has strong activist views on these topics, and I'm very happy that she chose to join us. And that'll be tomorrow in person.
Lee refers to Martina as, I'm going to have to look this up, turf? What is a turf?
I don't know.
Too square to know what that means.
I am too. I don't know what that means.
Hold on, here we
I don't know
go.
what that means.
Or are you looking up, Ken?
A feminist who excludes the rights of transgender women from their advocacy of women's rights. All right.
Well,
Every day's a learning day for Kenny.
Did you look that up in Urban Dictionary?
No, on Yahoo.
Oh, okay.
The two names continue to be linked and fascinating: Daniel Penny and Luigi Mangione. There's nothing worse, by the way, Luigi. Rich white kids are really a pain in the ass.
Yes. Well, no. Rich white kids that feel oppressed are a pain in the ass.
The Daniel Penny received a much-deserved acquittal. And I continue to see clips of CNN people who don't get it yet, don't understand what's happened to the country, don't understand why their own network is in such serious dive bomb decline. They continue to insist that Perry unlawfully took a life. Well, they're doing that because the guy's black, and they're doing that because they're highly invested in the mystery. Many of them don't even know what that means, but they're invested in it. And then you get to this Mangione, and the same people who find such significant fault with Daniel Penny, who choked a guy on the subway who was threatening to kill people, the same people who find fault with Penny, they can't help themselves but think fondly of Mangione. The dichotomy is really beyond our understanding, except to understand
That's interesting. You're right.
that this country is doomed with this kind of shallowness, this kind of stupidity, this kind of darkness. It's just incredible. They find, in fact, Mangione's looks are found to be so fetching by a lot of the female cable type anchors that they can't help but comment about it. First of all, they're hypocrites because they're the first to cry sexism if a male would ever comment on the looks of a female. So there's that aspect of it. And the other aspect of it is they're fawning over a cold-blooded murderer.
Right. Assassin. No, assassin's too good of a word.
No, just a cold-blooded murderer who claimed his back hurt. Well, too bad. Join the club. So I will repeat what I said yesterday. I hope the Daniel Penny verdict turns the tide against this BS. Don't act up.
Right.
There are still people in America who will do the right thing. And in terms of Mangione, I don't know what to think. It depends on how the movement builds on his behalf.
What are you?
Because the same Mysterians, remember, this is why these two names they've been rattling around in my brain for 48 hours. The same people who wish to prosecute Penny because it was a notch in their anti-patriarchy gun. That's another notch. It was a white guy, an oppressor, who killed this poor black guy. Never mind that he was a career screwed up criminal who was threatening to kill people.
Right.
The same people who wanted to prosecute Penny to the fullest extent and see him rot in jail are the same people who will, in order to keep up their bona fides in the Mystery Club, they also have to hate capitalism. So now where are they when it comes to prosecuting Mangione? He's only been charged with second-degree murder. I guess I don't know the degrees, but wouldn't that be an example of first degree?
You would think so.
Premeditated.
Shot him in the back.
What the hell?
He wrote about
Let
it.
me ask you, what is your vibe right now on Mangione percentage-wise? Is it 50-50 or you get 80-20?
No, let me finish my
Or is it too
thought.
early?
Let me finish my thought. The same people that wanted to fry Penny for doing the right thing might become the same people who don't want to fry Mangione for doing the wrong thing. That's how upside down we are as a culture. Now, I think Mangione will be prosecuted. I don't think we've reached the point where we're going to let a murderer walk free. But there'll be episodes throughout this where you'll begin to wonder whether they really don't care that he murdered Thompson or whatever dynamic comes up. But the same people who wanted to fry Penny, they're less livid about Mangione. There's a good way to put it. They're less livid about Mangione than they were about Penny. That's where we are. Isn't that a fine how do you do?
How do you do?
What the hell? I'm reading from the Center of the American Experiment today, a David Zimmer piece on the not guilty verdict being a win for self-defense. I think it is too, but I don't think the coast is clear. We went through this yesterday. I still think Reavers is in serious trouble with Mary Moriarty if he would take action on a Green Line light rail train. I still think there's a great deal of hesitancy and caution to do the right thing, which makes Penny's behavior all the more noble. He put that he took that risk.
Right.
He didn't get up that morning hoping he had a chance to intervene in a critical situation. But when the chance came, he did it. And there is no evidence whatsoever that Penny isn't a good guy. I've read everything I can. Have you read about him? There's nothing nothing in his character or his background to suggest he's not a good guy. And these same miserable benders of the prosecutorial rules are, I think they're beside themselves on what to do with this Luigi Mangione. Luigi. Who in the hell names a kid Luigi? If you're on the Isle of Sicily, maybe.
Somebody's got a lot of money.
I can't foghorn it. It's spelled correctly.
Well, there was the famous plumber that was a Luigi.
No, it was Mario.
Him and his brother Mario.
Yeah, the plumbing industry. Yeah.
The Mario brothers. Mario and Luigi.
That sound you hear is that airplane going right over Joe's head.
Right, it's very low.
No, Kenny, unfortunately, I know about Luigi and Mario.
He's probably spent about $10,000 on Luigi and Mario games and consoles.
No, I haven't.
Did you like the movie? Were you a bigger fan of the movie or the video game?
I like the movie better.
Didn't see the movie.
So I'm hesitant about making this analogy of the one you just made. Could you also say the same thing about George Floyd and Thompson? Was that too deep or too far afield?
Help me expand.
Well,
on
Floyd,
your context.
George Floyd was made to be a hero, an innocent man pulled out of the masses and killed right there on the street. Thompson descended or came up from the depths of hell in a lot of people's minds. Is that the same analogy, or am I just
I think it's,
reaching?
I don't think it's inaccurate.
It's just amazing to me the last few days how we've been talking about how everything is so upside down.
The problem you're going to have building the mystery, which is the diminishing of this country, which will happen by the diminishing of patriarchy. The problem the Mysterians are going to have is that all the parties are white. So that really throws them a wrinkle. They can't paint Brian Thompson as the oppressed. Not at $10.5 million a year and he's white. They're going to have a real hard time painting him as oppressed. And they're going to have a real hard time painting the rich kid Luigi as having been oppressed. So they have a real wrinkle to face here, but it will they will wrestle with it.
That's it. Okay, George was the oppressed.
Yeah, and a white cop was the oppressor.
And Thompson was the oppressor.
Yep. But also
killed by
an oppressor.
An oppressor.
Right.
Interesting.
So where how does this play out? Who do you root for? Well, for sanity, you root for the law.
Right.
In the case of Penny, the law prevailed.
Yeah.
In the case of Mangione, I can only assume. Assume means when you're not entirely sure. A man fell out of an airplane at 33,000 feet. He was presumed dead. So you don't have to assume it. But I'm only at the assume stage with Mangione. I can only assume the law will prevail. I'm not certain that it will. That's how weird this is.
Right.
That's how weird life has become. I mentioned the American Experiment. I love their guys and their gals. I love reading what they do. In fact, I check it every day, which is why I just mentioned a Zimmer piece on the verdict for Daniel Penny. They cover the things that the conventional news gatherers either cannot or will not or don't want to cover in the Twin Cities because it disrupts their agenda to help bring about the mystery. And most of the people engaged in conventional news gathering don't even realize what they're doing. They're just useful idiots. That's not true at the center of the American Experiment. They also bring in speakers. They have great forums, great events, great website. And, of course, every year they have the Turkey of the Year for the best waste of your taxpayer dollars. This year it went to the creation of a new state flag. And I'm pleased to say I went out to see the guys at Boveda this morning out in Minnetonka. And a lot of buildings out there fly flags.
Yeah.
I saw a couple of the old Minnesota flags.
Oh, yeah. You're farther away from the country's tallest buildings.
The farther away you get from the country's tallest buildings, the more likely you are to see the original Minnesota flag. I wouldn't be surprised at the center of the American Experiment if they're flying the real flag. It's the center. It's AmericanExperiment.org. One word, AmericanExperiment.org.
Okay.
The Earth is not your mother. The Joe Souchere Show.
This gets me back in the mood.
You're a bad waiter.
Whether you love us or hate us, we love engagement from GLers and their emails. That's why it's so fun hearing from you guys about the various things that you use Seafoam Deep Creep for. We heard from Mike and his revolving flagpole that he fixed with a good dose of Deep Creep. Another GLer, I believe it was from Montana, revived zippers on a canvas cab for a side-by-side. That means it's going to work on all zippers, ground blinds, whatever, maybe your britches. I don't know. None of my business. We received a bunch of emails before and after tool revivals where you soak it overnight or a day or two in Deep Creep, hit it with the wire wheel, and voila, brand new tool. Y'all use it for cleaning firearms, fishing reels, and, of course, paddle locks. Paddle locks.
I think they're called padlocks. There's
Deep
no
Creep,
paddle in there.
it loosens rusty parts, and paddle locks. It cleans and protects metal. It lubricates mechanisms.
The padlock.
And with the padlocks, this is why I like it on padlocks, it resists evaporation. That means extreme heat and extreme cold. That padlock is good to go, and it does it better than any other product on the market. So forget about everything else. Stock in some Deep Creep. You'll find it everywhere. It's the GLer's best friend in both the home and shop. And just, it's what they do. It's another fine product from our friends at Seafoam. It's called Deep Creep.
I was going to tell you about drones, but I have something more urgent. We have correspondents like Jordy and Kelsey and others, Downing, who really they really search the interwebs. Mm-hmm. And Jordy was reading something from a site called the Daily Skeptic. And
is it my website?
No, it's in the UK, and there is a massive cover-up underway in the UK for the Met Office to hide its 103 non-existent temperature measuring stations.
Really?
In reply, the Met Office said it was unable to supply details of the observing sites requested, as this is not recorded information. It did, however, disclose that for non-existent stations, we use regression analysis to create a model of the relationship between each station and others in the network. This generates an estimate for each month when the station is not operating. Each estimate is said to be based on data from 6 other stations chosen because they are well correlated with the target station. In other words, they admitted they're making up data.
Wow.
But there's no other conclusion you can reach.
If that is the case,
It is the case.
what now? What's next? Where does the buck stop?
Well, it stopped on this show from day one. I told you this was all a scam.
Right, but I mean, so they're just getting away with it now and don't have to answer for it?
I don't think they're. I think what happens is they beget.
What do they beget?
They beget.
Yeah.
Begot.
Yeah.
They begot.
Begotten.
No, they're taken less seriously. With each passing revelation, I hope people come to their senses. Yes?
Did you see, speaking of the weather,
Yes.
the climate changing, did you see the John Kerry thing
I did
yesterday?
not.
They have a new portrait of him now.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a very nice touch because he's been working so hard as the climate czar.
Well, he's a great czar.
I figured you'd be all over that.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Well, what was it? Why are you?
It was a portrait in the White, almost like a sending off from.
Oh, you mean his picture's hanging in the White House?
Oh yeah, we got to have a nice portrait of John.
The climate czar.
Yeah, he's the
Really? Well, he
climate
did
czar.
so much.
Well, I mean, Joe, come on. It's his work is never ending.
If it wasn't for him, think how warm it would be today.
You want to hear from him?
No.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to hear from Gavin Newsom?
Oh boy, do I ever.
Well, I don't have any audio.
Oh, what a tease.
I don't like Newsom.
Really?
Right.
Noted.
He's right up there with Walls for being a phony.
Here's the official. Sorry. John Kerry got memorialized with a portrait and reward for his work as Secretary of State and Special President Envoy of Climate, along with his 45-person staff. So that was the official.
Well, I
declaration.
hope under his portrait is the word czar.
I don't know if it is or not.
I want to debate you on him being right up there with Walls as a phony. I know what I'm getting from him. We're still learning and figuring out and finding out what we're getting from Walls. I think he's second to Walls when it comes to being a phony.
I'm not going to dispute you because I, too, have Walls derangement syndrome.
Good. I'm glad we do agree on that. Yeah.
Okay, Newsom is planning on pushing back against Trump's policies that will derail the current administration's green energy push. This is one of the things I'm most happy about Trump, because that's a scam.
Right.
Joe Biden implemented a tax credit of up to $7,500 to incentivize the purchase of greener vehicles, well, meaning electric vehicles. But Trump has reportedly planned to axe the tax credit when he assumes office, sources with knowledge told Reuters. I want him to get rid of that. Why should I pay $7,500 of my money for my neighbor to drive one of these Tin Lizzies? I don't want any part of it. The harm they do to the environment is worse than gas. Go look at the mines.
It's funny that you're talking about this, and our friends at the American Experiment kind of reprinted a piece from the New York Post headline, "Most Americans don't know the risks of renewables or the benefits of oil and gas." That's why this is working, because America as a whole, they don't understand the reality.
No. Newsom, 2 days ago, said he will offer the same EV rebate for Californians in the case Trump gets rid of the credit. So already a state taxed to the hilt, Newsom would add this on. Oh, by the way, despite everything else you're paying, you're now going to contribute $7,500 for someone to get a discount on an EV.
Wow.
Consumers continue to prove the skeptics wrong. Zero-emission vehicles are here to stay, Newsom said in a statement. Well, he couldn't be more wrong. They might be here to stay because of government mandating that they're here to stay, but the consumers are speaking with their feet, and they're going back to internal combustion engines to the point where automobile manufacturers are scaling back EV production. Okay? We will intervene if the Trump administration eliminates the federal tax credit, doubling down on our commitment to clean air and green jobs in California. We are not turning back on a clean transportation future. We're going to make it more affordable for people to drive vehicles that don't pollute, the governor said. Well, he has nothing to do with making them more affordable except continuing to rob taxpayers. He's not working on an assembly line. He's not in a cubicle at General Motors coming up with a better way to make these cheaper. He's a lying fraud. The only way he can make them more affordable is to take more money from you so that he can give it to your neighbor.
Right. I don't want that.
What are the demographics of most people that buy EVs?
Wealthy white people.
It's Pat Garofalo and his wealthy white people friends.
The Golden State EV credits would be funded by a relaunch of the Clean Vehicle Rebate Program, the state's electric car incentive program that closed in November of 2023. The announcement comes just 1 week ahead of Newsom's emergency special session that he called after the election to bolster the blue state's legal response to any future attacks from the incoming Trump administration. So, in other words, the only way a fraud like Newsom is looking at the election of Trump is that that's fraudulent. And let's bolster our legal defenses against anything he might do to this wonderful state I've helped create, which right now is burning to the ground in Malibu.
And people are fleeing in masses.
Now,
What are we gonna do
if
with all
I'm
the
not
actors?
mistaken, I'll get back to Newsom here. If I'm not mistaken, what's burning in Malibu is just brush, weeds. It's not forested right there.
Well, isn't there neighborhoods? Isn't that where the elite lives?
Yeah.
But their homes are not.
But they're built on cliff sides and down on the beach and back in the hills. But I think the hills are pretty much they're vegetative. I don't think they're not forested. I could be wrong.
I'm gonna look it up.
Now that doesn't make the fire any less punishing because people live there. In 1622, when that area burned, no elites were trying to live in Malibu. But
Perfect help.
yeah.
Excuse me. I don't think it's it's not like when.
But there have been evacuations, right? So
Right, because it's still a fire. When the fire burned near Sourdough Slim, that was forest going up. Okay. I'm just merely saying I think this is a fire that's mostly a grass fire, nevertheless intense and destructive.
Gotcha.
The Malibu coast lies on the fringe of an extensive chaparral and woodland wilderness area. The 8,200-acre park, Malibu Creek State Park, is a microcosm of the Santa Monica Mountains with a variety of habitats, including oak woodland, chaparral, and riparian woodland.
For example,
that means.
I said there's many trees in that area, and it's very forested.
I heard you
those
say
are
that.
burning
That's
now.
I think that is what you
That's
said.
exactly what I heard you say.
Well, let me
That's
put,
right, boss. You got it. You got it, JoJo.
Are there trees here?
Yeah, you got it, JoJo.
No, let me put it this way. All video I've seen of the fire has shown a grass fire. So from that, I extrapolated completely incorrectly. And I apologize.
That's my job.
I apologize if you were offended.
It's kind of like Stevie Lawrence kissing up to Frank Sinatra. You got it, Chairman.
That's a comedy bit. Now,
Oh, that's
we're
right.
aware
You're
of
right.
that, right? Yeah,
that
wasn't the real
that
thing.
wasn't the real thing.
Newsom has a long history of hitting back against Trump policies, having launched more than 100 lawsuits against the president-elect during his first administration alone. So,
Can I interrupt you again,
you may,
Joe?
John.
I'm sorry.
Might as well correct me some more.
Well, no, actually, this agrees with you.
Yeah.
Malibu is not considered forested.
No, it is not.
Due to a large brush fire currently burning in the area known as the Franklin Fire.
Right, I said there's no trees around there.
That fire has significantly impacted the vegetation,
Thank
like
you.
you said,
Thank you.
causing widespread damage to the natural brush and foliage throughout the region. Therefore, much of Malibu is currently experiencing a burning landscape rather than a
That's
forested one.
Okay, first I was right, then I
Yep.
was wrong, now I'm right again.
Right again.
Now
So
I'm right again.
Run
Let's
that
wait
by
a few
me
minutes
again.
and see
Well,
what
it was
else we
like
can
this.
find.
Okay, check it out.
Grassland is who from U2 went? Was it The Edge? What's his name? Bob
The Edge.
Evans or something?
Dave.
Or
Dave is his
Evans.
first name. Yep, Dave Evans.
He went through significant hoops and court situations to be able to build in Malibu. Apparently, he wanted to build where they're trying to keep people from building. And I'm sure he passes himself off as an environmentalist, but that didn't stop him for wishing to build on this cliff top in Malibu. His house, for example, if in fact he has built, I don't know. In fact, he wanted to build multiple. I think he wanted to create a compound because he has the money.
Sure.
And I think, for example, he would be the type of resident who's now threatened.
Oh,
Seriously.
okay, sure, yeah.
The people down on the beach, you know, if only there was a source of water they could draw upon.
Okay, because I'm not all that familiar. Is that near the Joshua Tree? Is that why he
No,
selected?
no.
Not even close.
No, not
Okay.
even remotely close.
Okay.
Joshua Tree's out in the desert.
Gotcha.
Malibu is a beautiful hilly area overlooking the ocean. There was just enough spit of land off Highway 1 where people with money squeezed in homes.
Gotcha.
But above is, I guess, just gorgeous also because you can imagine the views and the climate and everything is just very desirable. But here they come with Santa Ana winds and a fire. So
Sure.
there you go.
But the Edge still hasn't found what he's looking for.
Yeah, he was never able to build, by the way.
Oh,
He
really,
was
John?
He was denied permission to build his compound in
Oh.
Malibu, California.
And what happens when he got denied? Big red stamp.
Denied.
Right? Denied.
Boy, everything. I'm looking at Google. Everything is closed all through Malibu. Right
Okay,
now.
where does one begin to be closed at the southern end of the situation?
Southern end. Hold on. It's Topanga Beach,
Okay.
and then it's closed all the way up to
So get to Santa Barbara?
Latigo Beach, Central Malibu.
Okay.
Oh, and then there's more closures.
Is one the PCH, Ken, or is that five?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
one.
one is, okay.
As a sports writer, I really got to spend a lot of time in L.A. over the years.
Sure.
And I know that area fairly well. I shouldn't say I know it well, for God's sakes. I visited it often.
You were over at Johnny's house, right?
Johnny who?
Carson.
Yeah, I went to Johnny's.
Some wild, wacky stuff.
No, I did. I told you I went to the site of where Rockford's trailer was,
Right, yep.
and then I would go into Topanga Canyon because I knew that's where all the cats were living, Neil Young and all that. And I love the area, but it doesn't surprise me that it could burn.
Sure.
So good luck to him. And I wonder where the Edge will build his compound now, John. Does it say?
The latest news is from 2023, and he still owns the land, but they are not allowing him to build. He wanted to build a series of 5 mansions along the Malibu coastline.
Why?
I guess to install the family, maybe. I don't know.
Wait, you know what? That's over a 14-year period. So he's gone to 5 different spots, and they've denied them all.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Well, you don't have to feel sorry for him because when I saw his $15 million yacht in Croatia that was docked.
Whose?
Yeah, Edge.
Oh.
He's got a yacht that he rents out.
Oh, boy.
He rents
Oh, so
out.
that's what I bet he was going to do here. If he was building 5 mansions,
Maybe
probably
rent them
doing
out.
the same thing. Yeah.
Do you think he needs to be in the rental business?
Everyone's got to have
I
a
know,
hobby.
but why would you want to rent out your yacht?
Well, because it's often wisest to keep a boat in use rather than let it just sit there and not do anything.
Okay, Sailor Jerry.
I think he only answers to Popeye.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah, Popeye.
And since you made the mistake, Bob Evans is actually a farmhouse kitchen chain of restaurants.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, good sausage.
You know where I'd go? Big Bear Lake. Our old buddy Bob Davis is there right now, and my God, it is beautiful.
If I had the Edge's money, did you guys ever see a picture of the house Brad Pitt just bought in Carmel?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It was probably built in the 20s or 30s out of rock, and it's built into the cliff. Oh, is it just, you got to have some big dough.
It's stunning.
It really is cool.
I've told you whose house I want to buy. The Unabomber's house.
You
Throw it
could
on the
make
back
one
of
in
a
about 5
flatbed.
minutes.
Yeah, throw it on a flatbed. And
If I'm the Edge, I'm going to Carmel or somewhere in that area. And then people can say, "You live around here?"
Yeah. Did you get your eyes on Brad's Pitt house flipping through People magazine? How'd you
I don't know where I saw it.
Stumble
I saw it in a
upon
magazine.
I saw it online. I bet you did
I don't
too.
know, but
Oh.
it's the ultimate.
The
If you
Edge
like to-
is worth $400 million.
yeah, he doesn't need to rent a house for God's sakes.
Were they that good of a band?
He apparently wanted to not rent, but he wanted these to be eco-friendly palaces, basically.
Of course.
Is what it amounts to.
See, I got news for the Edge.
Yes.
See, it's
Joe.
kind of a tip, Edge. It's kind of a tip that when you're continually denied permits to build an eco-friendly mansion, it's because it wouldn't be eco-friendly to do so.
That's your read, right?
That's my take
Okay.
on it.
You're saying a lot of petroleum is going to be wasted to build this home?
Whatever's going to be wasted, but they don't want you there because they're trying to pretend they're actually doing something.
Gotcha.
we should show Edge the American experiment. Most Americans don't know risk of renewables.
Right.
Well, what is ironic about that, Joe, is one of the opponents who kept challenging him in court was the California Sierra Club. So you can see some irony
wow.
in it.
Oh,
It really
that's
is.
great.
Story
That's
there.
awesome.
Because I'm sure Edge would claim to be a big friend of the Sierra Group.
I was just going to say, is this a case of them eating their own?
This is
Oh, this is windmilling.
it's
It's
a
at its
windmilling.
finest.
It's
Yeah.
windmilling.
Yeah.
Wow.
When it comes to me, I should be able to build here, but I can't let you build here. Right.
Much like
now
John
you're getting
Kerry.
windmilled.
It's okay for John Kerry to fly around the globe.
Well, he's
buys-
busy.
buys
and
carbon
it's
credits.
okay despite the oceans rising dramatically.
Joe, it's a battle. He's fighting a war.
Right. It's okay for Kerry and Obama and Zuckerberg and whoever else has the money to have multiple oceanfront estates. You'd think they would be inland.
Right.
Don't forget the fellow who, because of him, we created the expression windmilling, RFK Jr., a
RFK.
former possible cabinet member.
Right.
Yeah.
They didn't want to see the windmills from the Kennedy compound when they're having a clam bake.
It's an eyesore.
Get those out of
Clam
my
bake.
sight.
If you offset your carbon,
No, Chris.
Bad
mad
Oh
dog.
yeah, and that's his excuse, right? Write a check. Yeah.
Hey, did I tell you guys this? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Do you know that that's how Elon made about $10 cajillion last year?
How?
Tesla sells carbon credits.
Oh, that's brilliant.
The guy's
Buy a
just
Tesla,
genius.
plant a tree.
I'm getting a bad vibe on
What a
a
bunch of BS.
Kennedy clam bake. I don't.
Yeah.
Clam bake, man. They're fun.
Yeah, the
You
Kennedy,
wolf down the clams like you do the
the
mussels?
Kennedy.
I would at a clam bake.
Yeah?
Yeah.
With the big bib on?
I'd have a big beach towel around me.
Kenny would be there for different reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. For the
Where's the clam at?
Yeah.
I'm not seeing enough
I thought you
clam.
I'm
Clams. Sorry.
I'm reading a book right now by Chris Wallace, the reporter, the son of Mike Wallace, about the 1960 election. It's a day-by-day thing up to the election. It's an amazing tale of John Kennedy's appetite, shall we say. That's the best way I can
Yeah.
Are you saying that
Undefeated.
Yeah.
undefeated.
are you saying his nephew didn't fall far from the tree?
It appears that way from what we've read about him, yes. I don't think JFK, though, kept a diary of his conquests like RFK Jr.
Well, you're proud of it.
Was he like Wilt Chamberlain?
I'm a writer, he says. I'm a writer.
Why don't we come back with Johnny Height?
Baby, come back.
We can, Joe, but I'd like to tell you and all of the GLers about my friends at Hofferman Water and Connecticut. You know, here's the deal. This is the time of the year. It is the season.
'Tis the season.
It's the gift-giving season. It's the water season at Hofferman Water and Connecticut. And right now, find out how you can potentially save 15% on a brand new water treatment system courtesy of Hofferman Water and Connecticut. You can do that by visiting them online at hoffermanwater.com. You can go to the website to book your appointment, by the way, for that free water analysis at hoffermanwater.com, or you can call them directly at 612-895-2440. Once you get on the schedule, have them come out. They're going to give you that free water analysis. They're also going to give you what's called a water score to see kind of where your water is at. Mine was god-awful, so I'm really glad that I made the switch. And I know it will do the same for you and make an amazing difference in the quality of your water. And it doesn't matter what you might be in the market for, whether it's a water softener, an iron rust and odor filtration system, or you're just looking for a brand new drinking water system, because a new system from Connecticut can do so many things that other water softeners just simply cannot do. But that first step is to get on that schedule. So give them a call today, 612-895-2440, or visit HoffermanWater.com. Hofferman Water has been proudly serving the state of Minnesota for over 50 years. Please mention that you heard about them here on the Garage Logic Podcast.
This guy wears many hats, just not indoors. Joe Souchere.
As promised in an earlier email, here are the bullet points for the... Oh, I'm just supposed to go right to it?
Yeah.
I do have a very good news for your garage logicians that are looking for items on yours. I didn't cold read this. I've read this 3 times over, and it's just fabulous. The holiday online auction. It's on right now through Christmas Eve, 12/24. Save up to 70% off of your holiday shopping with the...
Are you talking about our place?
Yes, the garage...
Well, look at John's shirt, Knack Hardware and Lounge.
It looks pretty good, and that's available online.
Yeah.
It's the Garage Logic Holiday Online Auction. Go to garagelogic.com.
That thing you're
auction.
wearing is not for sale. On
Joe,
our
this
auction.
this is not
thing,
merchandise.
Yeah,
This is a whole different deal.
Yeah, you can get your auction
Calm
items
down there,
anywhere.
Popeye.
Yeah, settle down there, buckaroo. GarageLogic.com.
Where's the party?
Keyword auction said you can start.
Are you going?
Right now, the auction runs through 8 p.m. Thursday, 12/19. Thousands of dollars will be up for bids this 1 week only. And up for that auction includes the ultimate golf package at Deer Run Golf Course, Canadian fishing package at Flesher Lake Lodge in Ontario.
That'd be cool.
I wonder if you could go to Emo. It's probably not far away. Yeah. Also, a free golf lesson from Joe. No, free golf lesson and 10-hour peak punch pass from Swing Lab. Get that golf swing done and get it done right. 2024 Modern Buggy Quad Hauler. Do you know what that is? It's from Pleasureland RV, and you can haul some hiney on that baby. Check it all out. There's so much more. Go to Garage Logic auction. Visit garagelogic.com. Keyword auction. It's so clearly and plainly written. I just absolutely love it. GarageLogic.com, keyword auction. Aside from all this good, funny stuff here, there's great items to bid on, and you may get up to 70% off.
Bernie, this is why I pre-recorded this before.
Is this a Bernie
I wonder if there's a
production?
place. I wonder if there's a place in town where during the winter you can take golf lessons out of the sand.
Well, I know there's one in it's either Chanhassen or Shakopee. That's an indoor driving range.
Well, I didn't say that.
yeah, but I
I'm
don't know if
very
they have-
aware of indoor
Hey,
driving ranges.
But I don't know if they have sand.
Brian Wilson, why don't you make your own sand trap in your house?
Here's John Haidt in his newsroom.
Thank you, Joe. This news update brought to you by North American Baking Company. The man charged in the murder of 50-year-old Brian Thompson, the CEO of Minnesota-based United Healthcare, who was fatally shot outside of a hotel in New York City a week ago, is fighting efforts to move him from Pennsylvania to New York to stand trial. Luigi Mangione being held without bail in Pennsylvania. Thomas Dickey is Mangione's defense attorney. He says the reason they're fighting that extradition to New York is because they have yet to see any of the actual evidence against Mangione.
I have.
There is evidence that includes writings, fake IDs, and a gun. The lawyer, though, says so far there's no evidence that links that particular firearm to the murder. Dickey says he hopes to get his hands on all of the items found in his client's backpack sometime today so he can examine them for himself. As for the criminal charges out of New York, Mangione plans to plead not guilty to all counts filed against him when he eventually makes his first appearance in court, which is expected to happen later this month. All of this comes as a new warning is issued about threats to other executives in the insurance industry. Those threats to executives come in the form of a hit list that's making rounds online, showing both the names and salaries of 8 top executives.
God almighty. Well, you know what? Those guys better get themselves security.
And as we learned yesterday on Monday Night Sports Talk, Patrick brought up that story, and he said, Joe, they're making 3D guns off the printer.
He didn't like
And
that.
he leaned in with the serious
He
racy
had a
look.
very
and said,
serious look on his face.
That's not good. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you.
The Minnesota
That's not good.
Minnesota Office of Cannabis Management will do away with its...
That's not good.
That's,
Wait a minute.
That's not good.
Wait, pause, John.
I'm trying.
Okay.
Right.
I think they're done.
Minnesota Office of Cannabis Management will do away with its planned social equity pre-approval process.
Wow.
After a series of lawsuits resulted in a judge halting the agency's social equity lottery that was scheduled for November 26th. Well, the state deals with lawsuits brought by a number of applicants who were denied in the pre-approval stage. The OCM now says it will go forward with licensing for both social equity and general applicants, with lotteries for each category planned for May or June of 2025. OCM officials had previously said the recreational cannabis market would be up and running by the first quarter of next year. That obviously will not now happen. OCM Interim Director Charlene Briner said the decision to end the pre-approval process is meant to prevent any further delays to market launch. Out of the 1,820 applicants who applied during the social equity pre-approval process, 648 were selected to move forward. Those 648 applicants will now automatically move forward in the licensing process. Those who applied for a license that is not capped by state law will be able to continue toward securing a license. All others will be entered in the lottery. Those who were denied in the first stage will now have the chance to enter into the general licensing cycle, where they'll have until January 10th to claim a refund of their application fee. Social equity applicants will have from January 15th through the 30th to verify their status. A license application window will open February 18th for social equity and general applicants and close on March 14th.
May I posit something?
Certainly.
Because I want Height's take on it. I brought this up yesterday on Monday Night Sports Talk. There's something to be made. There's some cultural dynamic at work that this Juan Soto character is going to leave the Yankees and go to the Mets for almost $1 billion.
Right.
700 what?
765.
765. And what strikes me about that is the bar is getting continually lowered to be considered excellent. That's Willie Mays money. That's Joe DiMaggio money. That's Hank Aaron money. That's Ted Williams money. This guy is a good ball player, period. He's a good ball player. So good ball players are now worth this? That means who's that catcher that I thought skipped a grade?
Drew Butera?
Drew Butera, whose dad I love, and I love you too, Drew. I don't mean, but Drew Butera then is worth $50 million a year. What's happening here?
John, go ahead.
I think Juan Soto is easily right now a top 3 player, perhaps, in the major leagues. Top 3.
And a top 3 player in today's major leagues couldn't hold Willie Mays' glove.
Well, now you just sound like an old guy. Okay,
well, I am.
That's all. When you look at his season last year, and it was overshadowed, oddly enough, by Aaron Judge's, but you look at Soto's, it's an amazing season that could be an MVP season on almost any other season. And I watched most of their games last year because I'm a Yankee fan. When you saw what he brought to that team, he's the only reason they made it to the World Series, although they couldn't pull out the
more
World
than
Series.
just his ability, Joe. It's also a product of the age at which he reached free agency.
Yes,
and also
exactly.
the fact that because he's
only 26,
he's
right?
only 26 years old. So
and
that's,
you're good from about 26 to 34. Those are the numbers.
Those are what your prime years
Yeah.
are. Sure, maybe even 32. But anyway, what should alarm a lot of people is the fact that basically a similar free agent in Bryce Harper, 4 or 5 years ago, signed for basically half of what Juan Soto just signed for.
It's escalating.
And John, the
alarming.
theory, you might be interested in this, the theory why he went to the Mets, because the money was essentially the same. He went to the Mets because the Yankees would not give his family a suite. Because they claim, look, we don't give Judge a suite.
Jeter didn't get one.
Jeter didn't get a suite. You're not getting a suite. So he went to the Mets, where apparently they gave him the third deck or something. I don't know.
I don't see. I may be the outlier here, but for many years, Major League Baseball players like Willie Mays were cheated out of a lot of money.
Yes.
So I think a Major League Baseball player should get as much darn money as he can finagle out of every owner.
That's fine. I'm just saying the bar for that is lower than it used to be.
I disagree. I think he's a superstar, and like Chris said, he's a young superstar. So
what's it going to be 10 years from now? What's the number?
That's why baseball is in a lot of
question.
trouble because of the imbalance between
Thanks, John.
the top 5 revenue-producing teams.
I didn't
and the rest
mean
of the
to
league.
disrupt the
let's open up a
newscast.
discussion.
Well, that's fine. I like this just
What
fine.
would I be making?
Kenny's the only one bored by this, so
Kenny,
let's keep
or
talking
Rook,
about it.
Rook, you'd be paying in about $100
You'd
million.
pay us to play.
I'd be making Tim Laudner money, right? Sorry, Tim.
There was and not to turn this into sports talk, but I will. Yesterday, a signing I thought was even more egregious, and my team made it, the Yankees, signing a pitcher to the age of 39, and they gave him a lot
Who
of
was
money.
the pitcher?
Max Fried, a very good pitcher. Very good pitcher.
Is Verlander still pitching for somebody?
Yeah, for his
Well,
wife.
he's a free agent.
The problem is with you baseball fans, and baseball is worse than any other sport,
Ball and
is
stick.
each one of you guys, you're the owner, you're the general manager, you're the pitching coach, you're the third base, first base.
I'm the bat boy.
You are every single person in management, and you think you're better than all of them,
Yeah.
when in fact you're all complete idiots, and you wouldn't last 1 minute in the major leagues.
So it's kind of like when this whole show keeps talking politics, is what you're saying.
The same exact thing.
I would like to
Same
be
exact thing.
director of concessions.
We could, you know what?
Okay.
When I buy the Twins,
I'm
if I
off
could
the
put
field.
the scratch together,
All right.
I will
That's
put
gonna
you in
happen.
charge
I'll give
of
you a
that.
good spread.
All right, good.
Let's take a break.
Huh?
Take a break.
We should.
I thought
Are
John
you
wanted to take a
disheartened,
break
Joe?
in the middle of the
Why are you
news.
disheartened?
I'm not.
Oh, okay.
What are you doing?
Speaking of money,
Yeah.
North American Banking Company.
Oh, segue.
How about
Blosky.
this? Bilski.
Bilski.
Mike. How about you, me, Rookie, Joe?
Blosky.
Can we get out? Can we take out a business loan at North American Banking Company by
Could
the
he
Twins?
lend us the money to
Yes.
buy the Twins?
Should I send a text?
How much do you need to go to a banker and say, I need the rest? I wonder. I'm serious question.
Mike, we're going to run the numbers.
Yeah.
You know what? I have to
Tires.
stop in later today. I'm probably going to go to 50th in France. I'll stop in and run the numbers by Bilski.
I
How does that
I
sound?
bet you'd need half.
All
Just
I
to put
want,
down?
Yep.
I
Okay.
just want a seat behind home plate.
When I buy them
You
and
are-
own them, you get one.
Do you ever
I
go
want to
home?
be able to judge the umpire on every single
Kenny, I
pitch.
can arrange that, but the kid sitting next to you is going to be on his phone the whole time.
Of course.
Oh, I know that irritates
I
you.
meant to tell you, and Blosky won't mind.
Bilski
won't mind. You know what I saw in the U.S. Bank Stadium, the football stadium?
What's that?
They got a plaque exactly where home plate was in the dome.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that
I
cool?
didn't know that. It's neat. I stood there and pretended I was at bat.
Did you give it the little
Yeah,
swing and
yeah,
kind of do one of those deals?
Do they have anything on the ceiling that shows where the old swastika was, where all the seams came together?
No, they don't have that.
Kenny, I got a buddy that's got 4 Champions Club seats
Cool.
all season long.
Those are the best seats in
And
the
you've
house.
never been using them.
I've never been
Oh, you've
invited
been
to
a
use them
couple
once.
times, haven't you? You've gone a couple
Isn't
times.
that where they
Not
get
in
the
those.
free food?
Yeah, that's nice.
You better get back to Bilski.
North American Banking Company takes the time to get to know you, your family, and in some cases your business because they want to be your bank. Every time I go in, they greet me by my first name, and they are always ready to help in any way possible. I like being able to go to any one of their 6 locations, whether it's Roseville, 50th in France, Hastings, Woodbury, Shoreview, and also Maple Grove. North American Banking Company offers all of the services as the other big national banks. Whether you're looking to buy a home, finance a new home renovation project, or get that new car that you've been thinking about, my friends at North American Banking Company can help you out. And that's because they offer the same online and mobile banking options as the other banks, but you're going to get the unparalleled service of a community bank. And they are also locally owned and operated. And that means loan decisions, are made right here in the Twin Cities. They are not sent out of state. So this helps business owners solve problems quickly and expand their business with confidence. North American Banking Company deals with numbers every single day, but you are never one of them. So your first step is checking them out online, which is nabankco.com to learn more. That's nabankco.com. It's banking done differently. North American Banking Company, member FDIC, is an equal housing lender.
It's the end of the world as we know it, and he feels fine. Joe Souchere.
In more news, actually some more local stuff. After months of debate and hours of discussion that went into Tuesday night, the City Council in Minneapolis did adopt a $1.9 billion budget for next year. About 40 people weighed in on Tuesday, a lot voicing concerns, not surprisingly, about property taxes. Ultimately, the council approved a tax hike of 6.9% and ended the meeting shortly before midnight. Wow. Mayor Jacob Fry had proposed a property tax increase as high as 8.3%, but had said he'd go as low as 6.4% if the council cut some of the nearly 80 amendments. However, councilors approved a record 71 amendments. There were also concerns over funding nonprofits, which was addressed several times by council members.
John, will you do me and the show a favor?
Mm-hmm.
Can you find those 71 amendments for tomorrow or the next day? Or
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Make a note to yourself and get those amendments, and let's see what the taxpayers are paying for.
John, I just would have said outright no.
John,
Mean?
can
That's
you
why I
give me
asked
that
him.
number again? What was it? 30? What billion?
Which number? Oh, the $1.9 billion
1.9
for the
billion.
budget. Yep.
Oh my God.
Meanwhile, if you live in Minneapolis, there's still another note you don't want to hear. The final tally is now in for next year's school district property tax levy in Minneapolis, and it also calls for a hefty hike. It already comes, though, in large part with the blessing of voters. The school board voting last night to increase district taxes by $31.2 million. That would be a 12.6% increase, with $20 million to help cover technology costs. That $20 million a year ballot measure was approved overwhelmingly this fall by voters. In addition to this year's voter-approved levy, the Minneapolis Public Schools has a separate annual levy tied to various obligations, including debt service payments and pension costs. The owner of a $350,000 home in Minneapolis now can expect to pay about $196 more a year. That's a 17.3% increase.
Wow.
MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell, they're suing another merchant cash advance company over an allegedly illegal loan. The Chaska-based manufacturer borrowed $1.5 million from Cobalt Funding Solutions in September and agreed to make 50 daily payments for a total repayment of $2.2 million, according to a lawsuit filed in Carver County District Court. The resulting 409% interest rate is according to the suit, many times greater than the maximum interest rate permitted under the applicable state usury law. Cobalt took advantage of MyPillow, according to the complaint. The transaction is an illegal loan. The MyPillow folks wants a judge to declare the loan unenforceable and award unspecified damages.
And award unpaid.
In national and international stories, fueled by pricier used cars, hotel rooms, and groceries, inflation in the U.S. moved slightly higher last month, in the latest sign that some price pressures remain elevated. Consumer prices rose 2.7% in November from a year earlier, up from a yearly figure of 2.6% in October. Excluding volatile food and energy costs, so-called core prices increased 3.3%, the same as in the previous month. Measured month-to-month, prices climbed 0.3% from October to November.
You know that as a nation, we've never driven older cars than we are right now?
I saw that. Yeah.
What do you mean by that? The average car driving right now is 15 years old.
Meaning people are making their cars last longer. Pretty soon we'll be like Cuba, be driving around these 1954 Chevys.
What's my VW? 2008?
About a 2008 or 9.
Okay.
I fit the bill. As a personal note, we just looked at possibly buying a new car.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. We'll keep the old one because the new car prices. Wow.
John, I can get you a great deal on a 2008 Volkswagen with about 138,000 miles.
Well, if it's running fine, you'd be crazy to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Well, I got
People
screwed.
are keeping these things
every
until
time
they
I
drop.
turn the key. Every time we turn the key, I remember that I just got completely screwed over on that one.
John, I saw a headline.
Way too much.
I didn't read the story. I saw the headline that the car prices are about to crash.
Really?
Yeah.
I hope so.
That'd be interesting. Weather conditions, we talked about this earlier, forecast to improve in Southern California, aiding firefighters in the battle against that wind-driven wildfire that we don't think is forested area.
Yeah, a lot of vegetation. Yeah.
Well, I was right, then I was
Then you
wrong,
were wrong.
then I was right. Mm-hmm. I remain right. Then
So that's two rights that made her wrong.
That's right.
Huh?
That fire so
That's
far
correct.
has forced up to 20,000 people out of their homes, including Cher and Dick Van Dyke and his wife, which...
Whoa, wait.
Don't be
Somebody
moving
better
Dick
help
Van
him,
Dyke.
Dick, because he's really old.
Wait a minute. Then she's a fraud. I thought Cher said that she was leaving the country.
Well, she's still here, I guess.
I don't know.
Huh.
I think, though, Chris, some of the accounts you read said every Democrat was leaving the country,
Yeah.
possibly falsely, I'm guessing.
I'm going to look it up. It's on
What do
Twitter.
we have to do to make that happen, John?
What?
Every Democrat leave the country.
Kenny's starting a campaign.
I would have
I'll
figured
help.
chef. I would have figured sheriff for what the hell's her name?
Cher?
Cher is near.
The Cher is
I would
near.
have figured sheriff for down on the beach. She must be up on the beautiful hills.
In the vegetation.
Yeah.
October 25th, 2023, American singer Cher has announced that she will leave the United States if Donald Trump is elected president in 2024.
Well, that was longer than a year ago
But still, she stayed.
What's the reason for saying that if you're not going to do
because
it?
it sounds good. It's just like I can link it to the Minneapolis budget hearing. When a microphone was put in front of somebody, they said, I'm progressive. I'm very progressive. But these property taxes are too much. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Join the club there, pal.
When people like Cher say things like that, is that some kind of threat to voters? Like, you'd better vote for my candidate or I'm leaving you.
Out of here.
Yeah.
Is that supposed to
if
change?
it's a threat, it's a pretty weak one.
Yeah.
I really don't care if Cher leaves or
Yeah.
stays.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's just their statement
It's just
of their thoughts at the
it
time.
just appeases
I
a
would
crowd.
guess.
That's all.
So you don't believe
They
that
were
she's
all
gonna
going to leave during
Oh,
HW.
jeez.
They're all going to leave during W. Nobody left.
They're all still
They're here.
She doesn't
Living in the
believe in life
vegetation.
after Trump. After Trump.
Right over Joe's head there, Chris. Attaboy.
I heard the believe part. That's
Oh,
a
he
Cher
got it.
song.
He
and
got it.
Well, sure. You know what? You want me to comment on every stupid thing he says?
I got you,
God,
babe.
no. Please
I got
not.
you, babe.
Yeah.
I got you, babe.
Why do you hate the 1998
You
mega
guys are
pop hit, Believe?
funny.
The song, my favorite Sonny
Cher.
and Cher song.
Yep.
My favorite ever is
Baby, don't go.
Baby Don't Go.
That is a good tune.
Did he write
It's a good
that?
song. We've been through this 1,000 times on the air.
Oh.
I
Well,
think.
what was the answer?
I don't think, did Sonny write it or did
Written by
Ellie,
Sonny Bono.
Did he? Okay.
It was written by Sonny.
All right. There you go.
1964.
That old, huh?
Yeah. Hitting what, 65? Probably?
Yep. Summer in 65.
Oh, it was a fun song.
They appeared as a couple in a black and white beach movie, surfer movie in the early 60s.
Why would a beach movie have been in black and white?
That's how old it was, early 60s.
Well, they had color then.
Is that a color set?
What's your point?
Well, my point is, why were
Kenny
they?
didn't make the movie.
Why were they in
I
such a
didn't-
horse
I-
bleep black and white movie?
This is kind of fun. I'm just going to spend the whole rest of the show making Kenny mad because anything's getting
Look
him
at
going
this.
today.
You know
Anything.
what I'm distracted by today? It's
What are you
not my
watching?
3 TVs that I'm watching.
Yeah.
It's a live cam in Malibu.
Oh, no way.
Oh, really?
That'd
Yeah.
be cool.
And there's
Is
smoke
it
actually.
vegetation
Are there
burning or a
forests?
forest?
No, it's on the beach. So I'm looking
That's
at
probably
a
somebody having a
boardwalk,
clam bake.
and I'm looking at sand. And I hate to say this out loud, but I'm looking at smoke on the water. It's kind of odd.
It's kind of the shot I have here. The shot I have here, it's smoke from a distant fire. The one I have. On my
We have.
Anyway, one
To
more
show
thing.
you.
Ed.
Like
To
a
show
smoke
you.
ring haze when the wind blows. I can keep going with you if you
To
want to
show
do
you
it.
that
I don't know that
everything
one.
revolves around the garage.
That's Buffalo Springfield.
see.
Bluebird. Like a smoke ring haze when the wind blows.
Listen to my bluebird.
Yeah.
And to show you that Sonny may have been a garage logician. Sonny Bono composed Baby Don't Go on an $85 upright piano that he had purchased and kept in the couple's garage. Working the middle of the night and lacking paper, he wrote the lyrics down on a piece of,
Cardboard.
yes, shirt cardboard, a practice that he would
Really?
continue.
Huh.
I'll be damned.
Yeah, that's kind of neat.
Coffee
By the
prices.
time I reach the city. What now,
Coffee
John?
prices.
Wait,
Coffee
I have the name of the
prices.
movie, 1965, Wild on the Beach.
Yeah, fine, but they had color then. So if they were in a black and white movie, they made a mistake.
Noted.
Maybe it was in color.
Yeah, I bet it
It's
was.
just in my mind. It was in black and white.
Black and white in your mind.
I see things in black and white.
God.
Coffee prices.
Yeah, that's your last story. It's
Okay,
just
well,
the
I'm
hell
trying.
with it.
Yeah, this is
We're
kind of
done
fun.
with you.
Yeah.
Coffee prices hit their highest level ever on global supply worries, beating a prior record set 50 years ago.
Ooh.
Continuous Arabica. I never know how to say it. Kenny, you're the coffee guys.
Arabic.
Arabica. Well,
I
it
don't
ends
know.
with an A.
I don't know. I
All
have
right,
no
whatever.
idea.
The futures.
It's pronounced Arabica in all seriousness.
Arabica, is
Yes,
it?
Yes.
Okay.
Hoity-toity.
No, but
Right,
well,
thanks,
Arabica.
John.
my mom's a coffee snob.
Oh.
Yeah.
Coffee Arabica prices.
That is a good flavor. It's not bad.
Prices rose 4.1% to $3.44 a pound by midday in Europe, having reached as high as $3.48 earlier in this session. That beat the prior record of $3.35 set in 1977.
Really?
Coffee futures are up more than 83% in the year-to-date on concerns over the 2025 harvest in Brazil. The South American producer had its worst drought in 70 years in August and September, swiftly followed by heavy rains in October. Despite good coffee flowering due to the recent rains, there are concerns the flowers might not attach to the branches, and that could lead to production losses in the next season.
In 1977, we didn't have coffee shops. We just had the old-fashioned coffee shops. I don't think we had Starbucks in 1977, did we?
Where did you
Look up when was the first Starbucks. Well, my point being, what in God's name did the housewife pay at the grocery store for coffee in 1977? 1977 was higher than it is today?
That's what it says there. Previous record, 1977, and it beat it by 13 cents today.
Holy
per
cow.
pound.
Well, you were talking about TVs. TVs were way more expensive 20 years ago than
Yeah,
they
but
are
if
now.
there was a Starbucks in 1977, well, hell, a
71.
cup of...
It started in 71,
It
but they were
did.
out. But they were out in Seattle.
Oh, boy.
They didn't really become aggressive.
All you had in 77 around here were Krabby coffee shops.
Right.
You pick some weird things to get upset about.
Wait a minute. What
Well,
did,
you're making the assumption that I'm upset. I'm not upset. I'm gobsmacked.
What did we have? We didn't have coffee shops. Where did you go?
We had
You went to,
Folgers.
you went to the cafe.
garbage.
or-
Sanka.
It
Sanka.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
gross.
Fill it to the
Sanka's
brim.
Gross.
You
Fill
went
it
to
to
the
the rim with brim.
Went to the coffee shop and
I don't
just,
remember a coffee shop.
A couple of quick other things that won't take long, Joe, that I need to pass along.
Yeah.
Kyle, our buddy, has sent me a little note here that says Fox News and the Washington Post are reporting FBI Director Christopher Wray will resign before Donald Trump takes office.
well, yeah, you ain't gonna let Trump fire him.
Trump wants Kash Patel
Yep.
to be his FBI director.
Yeah.
And the amazing Kreskin has died. He was
No.
89.
89. Kreskin made it to 89.
Wow.
Huh?
89.
Are we sure about that?
Well,
That's true. It's a magic act.
his,
The amazing Kreskin.
yeah. He said he wasn't magic or supernatural. He just could read people well
Yeah.
enough to
Oh, he
figure
was amazing.
everything out. He was
And
amazing.
Precision Garage Door has done an amazing job for GLers. I want you to put the number for Precision Door into your contacts. You're going to need a garage door guy. Sooner or later, when you need one, you want Precision Door, 612-263-6985. Precision Door MN. They serve western Wisconsin, the metro area. They take care of everything. They don't charge more for weekends. If you need a new door consultation is free. They send out a garage door designer. They have models for every budget. This is a one-stop shop, baby. Put this number into your contacts, 612-263-6985. If you prefer the interwebs to make your appointment or schedule a new garage door consultation, go to Precision Door MN. That's one word, precisiondoormn.com.
Here's a man who spends hours in hardware stores, sifting through the nuts and bolts of life. Joe Souchere.
U.S. lawmakers from New Jersey joined in many residents' frustrations over dozens of drones being flown near sensitive sites like a military research facility, and they are now calling on federal agencies to immediately help investigate and address the escalating issue. I have been speaking with Ocean County Sheriff Mike Mastronardi, Monmouth County Sheriff Sean Golden, and security officials located in the area. This is Chris Smith, a senator or a representative from New Jersey. He's been speaking with these people to discuss the widespread reports of unidentified drone activity across my central New Jersey congressional district and across our state. Understandably, New Jersey residents are very alarmed at this significant and reoccurring phenomenon, and the tepid response from our state and federal agencies so far is totally unacceptable. As we saw with the Chinese spy balloon last year, our fiercest adversaries will stop at nothing to surveil our homeland and threaten our national security. Why is it ironic that this is New Jersey? Anyone?
Coast. It's on the. I don't know.
Isn't that where Orson Welles set up War of the Worlds? Ooh. Wasn't it a small town in New Jersey?
I think you're right.
Yeah. Now, I have seen pictures of these. They're massive.
Yeah, they are.
What in the hell's going on? And why are we assuming that this is just merely China or Russia? Why are we assuming this is a foreign asset doing this? The FBI is investigating the reports. They are nighttime drone flights. They started last month in central New Jersey. The agency has since called on the public for help. Since making the call, residents have reported seeing the drones in other areas of the state. According to the governor, Phil Murphy, there were 49 reports of drones on just this past Sunday alone, mostly in Hunterdon County. The Democrat governor said his numbers included possible sightings and potentially the same drone being reported more than once. We're taking this seriously, Murphy said. I don't blame people for being frustrated. And Reavers, what is it you said you saw?
There was a video that surfaced. And I only saw this because of those the green laser pointers, the high, what do you call it? They can go a long ways. My son has one, and there was a kid that was shining one at one of these drones in New Jersey. And then when that happened, about 10 other drones flew directly to it, almost as in response to the green laser pointer shining on this object. It was really spooky.
Or out of curiosity.
Maybe, but apparently this morning Fox News had a member of the House Judiciary Committee on saying that there is potentially a tie between Iran and China with these drones over New Jersey.
What elevation? Did I miss that part? How far off the ground are they?
Does this story tell me?
Because you were speculating about shooting them down. I mean, what are you going to use to shoot them down? A shotgun's not going to reach that. I mean, the range is just a little bit more than a tall tree.
The New Jersey people are frustrated. There's going to be public briefings. The people of New Jersey deserve answers. I think it's terribly exciting, but I have no idea what it is. You know, in Iran, you're lucky to have a mattress because they always put the mattress on the car if they're taking off. Syria,
right. Yeah.
So they're wasting their money making drones, huh? You can't even feed the people. I don't know what this is, but nothing surprises me. Something's going to happen. I don't know from what realm something's going to happen. If you want a time frame, I say I believe something is going to happen between now and January 20. Whether it's disease, whether it's more gunplay, whether it's extraterrestrial visitations, I don't know. But something is going to happen. The world is too upside down right now for nothing not to happen. There's something afoot. There's something in the works.
The square is not holding.
The center is not holding.
Yes, in the center of the square. I'll take Paul in.
Dave has a suggestion. He said he would like to propose a phrase with accompanying definition for approval to the GL lexicon. He proposes that GL summer is to be from the date of the garage door opener to the last 70-degree day in the fall. These dates should be noted and kept for historical records. The goal would be to have as many days as possible between the two bookends. I'm sure Rookie would be more than happy to go back and secure the records for the last decade so that we GLers may have some data to gauge against. Thank you, Mayor. Love the show, loyal listener Dave.
My first reaction was no, and then I started thinking about it, and I love that. It is what it is. We can't predict it. We just have to accept weather for what it is. I love that idea.
He's predicting 70 to 70. He's not predicting.
Right.
He's suggesting 70 to 70 is GL summer.
But today, on December 11th, we can't tell you when summer is going to begin. That's what I'm saying.
No, it could begin as early as
March.
February.
Yeah. Yep.
I like it.
Yeah.
Your spring starts in what, 12 days?
Well, my winter's done. I have about 12 days left of winter, and then
She's
I'm
winding
in spring.
down.
Yeah. 'Cause I'm a 21st.
That's true.
The days get longer here in about 12 days.
Is it the 22nd?
Let's not rush it, though. Let's not.
Well,
rush
they get
it.
incrementally longer. Okay.
Yeah. There's more daylight available.
Especially, it usually turns.
what you're saying.
Rook, it doesn't usually turn right around your birthday.
Yeah, which is coming up.
Today's
Hey, cowboy.
today's length,
No
8
longer.
hours, 45 minutes.
All right.
Is
That's
that
how
enough?
much sunlight
Is
we
that
get.
enough?
It beats the hell out of Alaska,
Okay.
or Norway.
Right.
So I'll take it.
I'll take it. Let's
But
go.
okay, GL summer, 70 to 70.
All right.
That and Kenny's right. We never know when we're going to get we never know on either end.
But just
Right.
remember this, GLers. Please make sure you email Joe when it hits 70 on any day of the week and that you opened your garage door. Joe
No,
likes
let me
those.
tell you this. I just noted the last 70 of the year in my little weather bit that I do at the beginning.
You did.
It was in November.
Yeah.
It was in November.
Have you ever, for one reason or the other, obsessively watched the forecast, checking it multiple times a day for like a week or two at a time? Have you ever done that?
All the time.
It changes every 3 hours.
Yep.
If you're a guy that plows snow, you have to do that.
Yeah.
All it does is change. They just don't know what it's going to do tomorrow. Anyway, that's all I got. See you tomorrow.
I don't like your tone, but I liked your.
Only because.
I
I
liked.
wasn't going out on a limb there.
Only because.
Was Monday your frozen day, or was that yesterday?
That was Monday.
That was classic, Kenny.
But he does that every day.
No,
Oh,
but
with the-
I loved his message.
In fact,
coffee
Kenny,
cup?
Yes.
I loved it so much, Ken, I took a picture of it. It's now your caller ID photo on my phone.
Wait till I show you guys a nostril. You're going to love that.
We got that to look forward to.
Only because they come to us all the way from Cleveland, Ohio.
Yes, sir.
And the traveling Lymans. It's this day in Minnesota history.
Are you talking about December 11th?
I am, and it was on this day
12/11.
in 1876. Ada Louise Comstock was born in Moorhead. She became the first dean of women at the University of Minnesota, and then, beginning in 1912, served as the dean of Smith College in Northampton, Massachusetts. Although she, in effect, ran the school from 1917 to 1918, she was not given the title of acting president because she was a woman. She became the first president of the American Association of University Women in 1921 and served as president of Radcliffe from 1923 to 1943. I didn't know that. Did you, Chris?
I did not,
Are you
Joe.
paying attention?
I am.
I'm not paying attention. Something has happened on YouTube that you guys are going to find disturbing. You finish up, and I'm going to tell you what new developments have just happened on our YouTube channel.
On this day,
December 11th.
in 1895, after a sensational trial, Harry T. Hayward was hanged in a Minneapolis jail for the murder of Catherine Ging, owner of a fashionable dressmaking establishment. he had arranged for her to be killed so that he could collect her life insurance money. I'm not sure I would have had this in this day in history. That one. I remember this one from this day in history last year. On this day,
December 11th.
in 1956, the dwellings in Swede Hollow, a St. Paul immigrant neighborhood, were burned after the city health department declared them contaminated.
Huh. They're filthy.
I can't say that I remember that, but I was alive on this day.
December 11th.
In 1970, Norman E. Borlaug, University of Minnesota alumnus and crop researcher, received the Nobel Peace Prize for his research in hybridizing wheat to increase crop yields. Borlaug is known as the father of the Green Revolution. I don't think he meant it in the way that the Mysterians mean it. On this day,
Joe, are you talking
a
about
long
December
one.
11th?
Yeah, a lot happened. Don't you have to write?
on this day in 1999, St. Paul's Paul Molitor announced his retirement from baseball, having spent his final 3 seasons with the Twins. His career hits numbered over 3,000. You know, this day in history should have the exact number, but it just says over 3,000.
You're right. It should have the. I can look that up.
Most of those hits came when he was with the Brewers.
And the only player in MLB history whose 3,000 hit was a triple.
The only one? Mm-hmm. Wow. And finally, on this day,
Joe, today is December 11th.
also in 1999, after 16 months of often bitter protest, 4 oak trees sacred to the Metawankton Dakota community of Mendota were cut down to make way for the rerouting of Highway 55 in Minneapolis.
Wow.
I remember
55.
that. That was a big to-do. Camp. What's the camp there called? Clearwater?
Yes, Camp Clearwater.
And they had people there.
There was a Bureau of Mines building there that was highly secure during the war, and that building disappeared.
3,319 career hits for Mr. Molitor.
But they really turned that into something pretty cool right now. If you like to go for walks or ride your bicycle, there's a spring there. It's pretty neat, actually.
Yeah, but it's missing 4 trees.
Is that what that lake, that the dam thing is? When you go on 5 by the airport, you know,
Yes.
that's the end result
I'm
of
just going to say yes.
Camp Clearwater.
No, he's wrong. But, swing and a miss.
What are you going
Wouldn't
to
be the
tell us,
first time.
Kenny?
So,
Anyway,
you guys know how I've told you over the years that I'm shadow management, and Dan and Jenny and sometimes the family themselves will call me and run ideas by them. And sometimes I just have to tell them, don't tell me this. I don't. This is something you don't want me to
Right.
know.
I don't want to be troubled.
Well, I've been hanging out with the GLers in the comments section on our YouTube page and responding every now and then, chatting with them. And I'm seeing a lot of good things from the GLers, and they've given me some ideas and things to nail you with or throw off, talk to you about. But somebody in management found out that I've been doing this.
Uh-oh.
And they made me a moderator. So now I can go to somebody who makes a mean comment. Like, here's a mean comment from some dink named Thomas Raycamp.
Yeah.
And if I click on the dink's profile, I have the option to go to his channel, to report him, to remove him, or to put him in a timeout.
Put him in a timeout.
Timeout.
Give him a
I
timeout.
don't even like his name.
Well, you mean Dink?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thomas Dink Raycamp?
Yeah.
I don't think I should have this power, and I'm going to ask management to remove this power from me. This is too much. This is more than I can handle. I don't want that kind of power.
Kenny not only has that power, I don't even have it on YouTube.
Oh,
I don't
well,
even
okay.
see the computer.
Okay, wait a minute.
We could set
Hold-
that
I
up
think you
if
should.
Hold on. Here, from Kent, if Joe tried to comment on here or bring it up on the show, it would end up like Married Forever.
Yeah.
You know what?
accurate.
I'm thinking that for me it would be a distraction.
Yeah. Okay, so
Let's see. He's bringing it up. We're going to see here.
GL did get rid of me, so I'm no longer a moderator. That's probably best. That's a good idea. You don't want me driving the car.
Okay, this is us right now. We're on the air. You know what? I'm thinking that for me it would be a distraction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just said that.
So
let's see. He's bringing it up. We're going to see here.
GL did get rid of me, so I'm no longer a moderator.
Where do you
That's
see
probably
these
best.
comments?
That's a good idea.
It's
They're
off
over
to
on the
the
right
right there.
side. You don't want me driving the car.
Okay, this is us right now. We're on the air. You know what? I'm thinking that. What's that?
I just turned my volume on because it sounded like 4 of them were up. So,
Welcome to the live chat.
yeah.
I see.
All right.
Here's Kenny driving the YouTube car.
Squirrel!
Thank you, GLers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hi.
I mean, hi guys.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing myself wave. How
my
much
God.
of a delay is
You're a
there?
little behind.
There's a
bad
delay.
idea.
Yeah.
Well, what, a minute?
How you
was a-
doing?
no, this was a
Hey,
bad
how
idea.
you doing?
Yeah, you can't have this up because I'll just.
You're right.
I'd be
But
too
we should have known
distracted.
better. It's like having golf
Why
on.
is it delayed like that?
Thank you for joining us on YouTube, though. It's been a
Now
while.
I'm
There,
waving.
you just waved. Yeah.
Now I'm waving. Hey, watch Joe wave on the Garage Logic YouTube channel. Every day we're posting you can watch the show every day starting at noon on our YouTube channel. It's been a lot of fun, as Kenny just mentioned. You can also follow us along on all of our social media channels, which includes Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Don't forget the Gumption County gift shop is online right now at garagelogic.com, where you can buy that sweet Knack Hardware and Lounge shirt like Johnny's rocking, the Anguilla shirt, Boatworks, classic GL t-shirts and sweatshirts, the Failed Academy shirt, Spoon Lake, the Royce Souchere shirt, and hats. It's all there for you. Go to garagelogic.com, and then there you can sign up for the Daily Logician. The email comes right to your inbox each and every single day.
Oh, my God.